What is up, everybody? Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Eve. One more show. Well, technically two if you count this one for the new year. That's right. Oh my God, 2025 is over. Pretty much over. It's not over, but it's over. I got up early this morning, got a great workout in. I'm sweating still. I took a shower, but I'm sweating. Probably because I'm wearing this awesome hat that I got made 2 years ago. Well, 3 years ago almost. Dang, almost 2.5 years ago. I don't know, but I'm rocking it because it's gonna be cold. It's probably not. It's probably not. It's Texas, guys. It's Texas. Let's calm down. I can't hear myself. Yeah, I can. Okay. Sorry, that microphone was acting weird. Anyway, um, yeah, crazy. I was thinking like we are going to be talking about 2026 coming to an end before you know it. I know it's like, yeah, a year from now, but just, think about how much time flies. Got my, I don't know which one I'm going to wear to work today because I do work. I am going in a little bit. Probably should not be doing this right now because I have to go to work. But whatever. What? What are you going to do? Nothing. I'll be there on time. And, I'm going to be there with my coffee in my hand from home because I'm on a baller on a budget. But check this out. Got my Kendrick Lamar Merry Christmas mustard shirt on. And I got this last year actually, but I only got to wear it once. So I got a ton of Christmas sweaters and shirts. And anyway, yeah, so I'm excited, I can't wait to see my son open all his presents tomorrow. And I got to wrap a few things to get some dinner stuff prepped. And then it's a couple of days off before I go into the final stretch of 2025 and a big, big push for me at work. And then, it's time to regroup and take some downtime and focus on 2026 and all that. And I'm not one of those people. To like, what's the word I'm looking for? Think too far ahead, right? I do. I have to when it comes to planning work stuff. But you do really need to live in the moment. And you need to fill yourself. You need to be empty and fill yourself with what's happening in the moment. It doesn't mean that you don't plan. But the only way that you can truly prepare for the future is by living in the moment. You're not preparing for the future by living in the past. You acknowledge the past. You represent, you've learned from the past, hopefully. Otherwise, you repeat your mistakes like I have over and over again until it just clicks. And sometimes it takes a catastrophic moment for you to click. And I don't know why it's that way with certain people. I don't know why some people click right away and some people like me click the hard way. I don't know. But it's all about being grateful right now. And it doesn't matter if you are celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, or nothing. The point is, I think it's okay as we approach the holidays and we approach winter and we approach this time of year and the ending of one year and the beginning of something else. And know this, obviously Christmas is tomorrow and all that. So that's a big thing. And we have one more show before the new year. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff on that next show. We're going to talk about some movies. We're going to talk about some music. We're going to talk about some highlights, some changes to the podcast. We're going to talk about some other stuff. But I think, one of the biggest things is you should really try to be grateful. And it sounds cliche because why is it that every time this year, the vast majority of America and other countries that celebrate Christmas across the world and globe and their traditions and different holidays that they celebrate this time of year, Hanukkah and things like that. Why is it that that's the time that we start recognizing and being grateful for stuff? And the reality is, no, you should be grateful and hopeful all year, but we are human. We are very much human. And it's you feed yourself with positivity and then negativity and then dead scrolling and doom scrolling. Those are two different things. And then uplifting moments and down moments and trials and tribulations, that sometimes the gratefulness and the appreciation and blessed moments you forget about until you're confronted with them, until you're approaching the end of something and realizing maybe you're a year older, or you watch your kids grow, or your job progress, or you see your pet pass away. And you're like, oh my God, my dog died, my cat died. But you look at the time that you spent with him, and own that time and be grateful for that time. And I got to tell you, man, no matter how many times we do this dance as human beings where we get in that negative loop sometimes. It's so easy to wake up in the morning and think about yesterday's thoughts and yesterday's actions and yesterday's moments. And I've done it. I'm guilty. We all are. And if you say you don't do it, you're lying. You got to train yourself to do it. You got to train your mind not to, because what happened yesterday is the past. It may not be the past as in, 20 years ago, or even as of last week, but it's very much you're done. If you go to work and you punch in and you have 10 things that you're supposed to get done that day and you get 9 done that day and you go home, are you going to dwell on the fact that you didn't get that 10th thing done on your list? Maybe for a minute that same day because it's there, but it's still the past. It's gone. You're off the clock. You're done. Are you going to go into work tomorrow and be like, I should have got this done yesterday? No, you're going to go in and say, this is what I'm doing today. This is what's in front of me. And now I'm going to add this to it. You're not going to sit there and go, but yesterday, but this happened yesterday. You got to move on from that. And that goes with everything in your life. And be blessed that you have a job. Be blessed that you got 9 out of the 10 things. Be grateful that you got 9 out of the 10 things done. And I say that because recently I had a situation, man. I don't really even like talking about it. Because even though it was a couple weeks ago, my mind hasn't wrapped itself around it. And I haven't processed it. I moved on from it. But there's still lessons to be learned in it. I was off work, and I didn't have Luke. I got up, I did a light workout. I enjoyed my coffee. I sat and enjoyed my coffee. Emptied the litter box, did a couple things around the house. Knew that I was going to have 2 days back to back. And I said to myself, instead of like jumping on and recording and cleaning and this, let's roll with the dice for one day. And then the next day, do what you got to do. That was my decision. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that was my decision. So I decided I'm going to go do a little car shopping. Now, you guys listen to the pod long enough. You've heard me talk about my car. You know that I desperately needed one last year. And now we're to the point where it's time. I have a number in my head of what I want to spend. I have a number in my head of what that car payment should be or what I want. And I have a number in my head of how much I'm going to put down. I'm not quite at that goal of what I want to put down, but I am very close. And I'm at that goal of like, okay, if push came to shove and I found a good deal, it's the end of the year, you play around with people, maybe I get it. But I'm to the point, at least, we're going and looking and talking to people and looking at cars and test driving and talking about options, whether that be financing or whatever, trade in for as little for a bag of chips and a Starbucks gift card as my car is worth, whatever that may be. It was that opportunity that I needed to do, right? That's where I'm at. And so I did. I went to Plano, several places in Plano, and some of these cities won't mean anything to you, but we're just going to talk about it. And then I went to Allen. Now, this will mean something. Allen is very close to where I live. That city is a whopping, like, technically border about 3 miles south of me, maybe even less. Where I was in a 6.5, 7 mile, let's say 6 to 9 miles from my house, give or take, because I was coming back from Plano. I had one work phone call that day. I had my music on, the sun was out. Um, Felt good. It felt good. I hadn't made a decision on any cars yet, but I was getting more information and I was getting an idea of what I was looking for and all that. And I get to the spot in Allen. I'm on the phone with my buddy. We hadn't caught up in a while, and I'm just trying to catch up with him about his life, work, things like that. I'm trying to, we're talking about getting together. Just it was an opportunity. God, that hurts. And I was like, all right, we're talking, and all of a sudden I hear this ding. And it's like if you don't put your seatbelt on, it's a notification in your car. It is an alert. It's a sensor. It's a warning. Your car door's open, your light's not on, whatever, your check engine, you're low on gas. That same sound all has that same moment. And I look, and the thermostat symbol, I call it the sail, is red, and my temperature gauge is approaching H. My car's overheating. No smoke or anything. So I'm like, oh my God, crank the heat up. That's what they tell you to do. Crank the heat up to draw from the engine. I'm driving, and I'm like, I'm going to get to the gas station. But I'm like, I pull over, let it, and sit. I pull in this parking lot, sit. I'm on the phone with him for like 15 minutes, stressed out about it. I pop the hood, nothing. No smoke, nothing weird. I look in the coolant, and it's low. It is not out, but it's lower than it was 3.5 weeks prior when I got my oil change. Kind of weird. I haven't noticed any drips. I haven't noticed any, like, anything with the car other than the usual weird sounds. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking half hour is the limit, but I let it sit for 20 minutes, 22 minutes because it's not that hot out. And I'm thinking there's just a gas station right up the road, like not far at all. If I can get to that gas station, I'm going to get coolant, fill her up. And then obviously if there's a leak, I can see it. But if I'm not seeing anything, that should help. Fingers crossed, run it, and I can get home. Because if there's a slow leak somewhere, it's not going to dump out in the 7 miles, 7.5 mile range to get home. And then I'll call somebody, have them take a look at it, go from there, right? I pull back out, I'm on the phone with him again. I was like, fingers crossed, buddy. And I'm driving. Boom, 10, 15, get up to 15 miles an hour. I'm not even a half mile down the road. Rise up, boom, I pull over. As soon as I pull over, I start to see a little bit of smoke. And I'm like, son of a biscuit. I look, still looks the same in the coolant. I look in the bottom. I'm not seeing anything. I'm like, okay, I can't drive this home smoking. But my car's old. Maybe it needs to be fully coolantized, right? And I'm like, all right, I got to get off the phone with you, man. I'll keep you in the loop. Ironic this happened as I was looking for a car. This is Alanis Morissette. Ironic. Real ironic, not the stupid song. She should learn that. There's nothing ironic in that song. So I'm on this street, Main Street. Bethany's the name of the street, in Allen. And I pull in this parking lot, and I pull sideways. I don't even get a chance to park my car. Great. And I'm like, I'm not moving it. I need gas, too. The gas light's on. I'm like, great. What do? I'm going to go let this cool. There's a gas station, there's a Starbucks right there. There's a gas station next to the Starbucks. I'm going to go to the gas station, grab my thing of coolant, go to Starbucks, get my Starbucks, start Googling, start talking to my buddies. about the situation. Let it cool, go dump it in, see what it go from there. Worst case scenario, it smokes or I see the leak going and I got to get it towed. Best case scenario, no more smoke. It's full. I drive it home and then I can call somebody, but at least the car's back, right? As I'm walking down the sidewalk, mind you, this is not some weird US highway. I am walking down Bethany. Bethany has sidewalks all the way. There's people walking their dogs. There's people riding bikes. Like you can walk on the sidewalk. And I walk towards Racetrack, the gas station. And as I get there, I push the button so I can cross. So I cross to the other side so I can push the other button to cross Bethany to go to Racetrack. Bethany's a busy road. This isn't like, oh, it's a 1-lane road, 2-lane road, downtown Frisco. This is like small place. Bethany's a busy road. You're not just running across the street. It's busy. Push it. I'm standing back from the curb, okay? On the spot, away. Because there's cars turning down here and, and I'm waiting. I'm stressing, but I'm remaining calm because there's nothing I can do. I got to live in the moment, right? Signal changes. The walking man is there telling me I can walk. Okay. Look, because I always look, start to cross. Bethany's this way. You go down this way. It's a one way this way, one way that way. You know what I mean? And there's a little median, and then you get to the other. And as I get off, I hear this screeching like somebody's like skid marking or slamming on the brakes. And I immediately look and I see this gray car, maybe Kia, come flying. I jump back. This car cuts it to go to the left as this white SUV comes. This car smashes into it. The white SUV semi turns to go towards me. I jump back again away from it. In that amount of time, before I could catch my breath or even understand and compute what just happened, sirens and a motorcycle cop pulls up. And I'm like, holy. And he looks at the car that ran the red light. So in my mind, I'm like, this guy was speeding, the cop was chasing him. Or this was a chase. I don't know. But I start backing up. The door opens of the car that ran the red light. And I hear the cop say, don't do it. And he's reaching. And I'm like, no, not getting shot today. I dive. There's a tree, half a hill, like that goes into a ditch, tree and some bushes. I dive back there. Another guy's already on the ground. He's like, stay down, dude. I'm like, stay down. He's like, don't do it. I'm like, dude, there's going to be a shot. Somebody's getting killed. And then all of a sudden, I hear like running. And I look to the left, and the guy's booking. And there's a Popeye's chicken. At that moment, I kind of got up and was like, I thought about Luke. I'm not chasing this guy. Had he run by me, I might have tripped him, punched him in the crotch, grabbed his legs. Me and the guy could have beat him up, whatever. But he's running kind of to the side. I'm not a police officer. I'm not Dick Tracy. I'm not Batman. I am 47-year-old dad with a busted car that's got to get home to my son. If the guy's not attacking me and he's not attacking somebody else and I'm not and my son's not there and I don't have to protect him, bro, I'm not chasing him. Cops pops on the motorcycle, runs up the hill and goes after him. There's cop cars coming from all the sides. Me and this dude look at the white SUV and we're like, there's people in there. Now you can't see anybody. The airbags have filled the entire car. So we're knocking on the window like, hey, hey, hey. At this point, there's like 3 other cars that stopped. People are on the phone with 911 already. You can hear sirens coming. It's a busy intersection. The whole street's busy. And we're like, are you all right? They're like, yeah, we can't get out. So we go to the other side and we're pulling on the door. We get the door open. There's these 2 girls in there, 20 maybe. I think they were. I think one was like 21 and one was 20. Sisters. Their friend pulls up. Oh my God. Because they were like riding together. I don't know. They were by each other. We're like, hey, step aside. We're like, are you okay? And you could tell they're in shock, but they're communicating. We're like, don't move. The girl's got a little scratch on her head, and by the time she calms down, she gets out of the car. And then the ambulance is there. They're fine. And we're like, dude, you are so blessed. I have to fill out a thing with the police officer because I witnessed it. They arrest the guy behind Popeyes. I sat there for a minute thinking I should stay there as long as possible for I don't know why. And then finally I was like, I gotta go. I look over at the racetrack and I go, yeah, we're not crossing the street. We're good. I walk back to my car, get a hold of the towing company. They say they'll be there in 30 minutes, and I just sit and process what happened. And I took pictures, and I sat there and I looked and I said, if I didn't hear that guy, or it was too late, I'm a dead man. Quite frankly, I'm blown away that those girls, despite yes, the airbags went off. I'm blown away those girls didn't have more injuries. The one girl was fine. The other girl had a scratch. That's it. No soreness, nothing. And yes, their adrenaline's raging. I understand that. But one of them, the driver alone, should have been dead. I would have been dead. That car would have pinned me up against the other car, sandwiched, dead, if not amputated legs. You don't dwell on it because that happened in the past, right? But you got to learn from it. And you got to go, oh my God. And something was in the air that day because there were so many accidents on the way home. I was driving with the tow truck guy, and he's like, dude, I've seen like 5 accidents. I get home he's lowering the car. We see all the fluid coming out. I'm like, okay, so there's a leak now. And it's not a lot, but it looked like a lot. Set up an appointment. I got a guy. He's going to come out and take a look at it. Luckily, I'm off work 2 days in a row. He comes out and takes a look at it. If I take this to somewhere else, it's almost 2 G's worth of work. Okay. And he did it for less, but still a lot. More than my car is probably worth. And I did the debate of, do I just turn this car in now and get something new and not pay for it? And I'm like, no. Because, and the reason I didn't is because I needed some more time. I felt like buying the car now, because I'm not going to get much on a trade-in. I felt like buying the car now would have been a setback in the long run. And I know that doesn't make sense, but I know my finances. That being said, it hurts because of how much I had to put out right before Christmas. But I had it. Did it interfere in some things? Sure. Not a lot, but I had it. I'm alive. Luke wasn't there. He's alive. All the Christmas presents that I needed to buy and things I needed to buy for Christmas have been bought already. Not that it mattered anyway. It's not about that for Christmas. But as a dad to a younger child, that's a stress, right? I got this chair. I got my, whoa, Steve, I just knocked down my light, guys. I just almost knocked over my camera, my computer. I got this computer up on a, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Thank God for this new chair that's coming in. It's already paid for. I got a great job. Really, I can adjust this light, guys, and this camera. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. And that's the way you look at it. I have somebody who got me there to work, got me back. There are people that don't even have that. I had money if I needed to get an Uber. There are people that don't have that. And yes, knock on wood, my car remains that way for the next, I'd say, month, like the end of January. Fingers crossed, praying that it does. I'll do whatever it takes. I just won't drive it as much. Go to work and back, nothing extra. School, work, back, done. Dunzo. It's time to hunker down. Even more than I would want to. But I'm grateful for that. And I am truly blessed because I could have been dead. And Luke wouldn't have a dad. I'm not ready to go yet. You know what I mean? And that messed me up. That 100% messed me up. But it gets me thinking about just how blessed I am this time of year. To have people in my life that are willing to help out. To have the close friends that I care about willing to do stuff on the simple level. Watch my cat when I'm out of town. Feed my fish. Feed my cat. Swing by the house, check if my packages got there. Take the packages away from me. Drive me to work. Think about it. There are people that would have to, if I wasn't off that day, I would have had to take the day off. But it could have been so much worse. And forget the accident level. There are people that would have to take multiple days off work and maybe don't have, my cat's here, and maybe don't have the PTO to do it. And they would have been like, I need to take work off to fix my car. I don't have PTO, so now I'm losing money left and right. I don't have that situation. I have PTO. It also happened on my day off. So you gotta be grateful for that. And I am. And that's the way I look at it. And if the car runs, tomorrow morning, you'd be grateful for that. Because I can't sink any more money into this thing. I can't. And I can't be Ubering back and forth from work. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. That's going to cost me a lot of money. So I'm blessed. And you got to look at those blessings the best way you can. Period. But it's a wake-up call. And there's a lesson to be learned. And there's things that I've learned from it, that I picked up from it, that I'm like, okay, that was... And I'm not just talking about the accident that I was like me walking and almost dying in the accident I saw. I'm talking about from everything stemming from that, from the planning of the car. Like, yeah, Brandon, you got to do things better. I can take ownership to the things that I should have done better. I could have had a larger rainy day fund if I didn't waste money on dumb stuff. I could have, just gotten the car when I had a lot of extra money. And maybe we didn't go to Disney, but I had been saving for that, and that's a memory for Luke. Or maybe I don't spend this at this time and put that $50 over here. I get that. There's things. And then there's other things. And life's about living, and having a good time, but you got to live in the now to prepare for the future. So I'm not looking at the past. I'm learning from what just happened, and I'm counting my blessings and thanking the people involved, and I'm moving forward. And that's what, as we wrap up this year and as we approach Christmas for myself and my family, that's what it's about. That's what I need to do, the sacrifices and all that. And not just that, I show Luke sacrifice, and now it's like, it's time to hunker down. and still live a good life and have a good time and be blessed for everything that you have. There's some people that this happens to, they don't have a job. There's some people this happens to that their job doesn't understand. They don't have somebody to drive them there. They miss work. Maybe they get fired. Maybe they walk to work. Maybe they didn't have any Christmas presents. And then you go to your job and your job hands you, $120 gift card. Didn't even know it was going to happen. Hands it out to everybody. That's the type of place I work. And it happens to come at the right minute. Walk into work 2 days after this happened, dumped money that I didn't want to dump on a car that, quite frankly, I need to get rid of. And oh, by the way, we're saying Merry Christmas and thank you. And here's a $120 gift card. What? I'm over here budgeting grocery money at this point, and now I'm looking at that gift card going, oh my God, this is amazing. That's a blessing and that's a sign. So tonight on Christmas Eve, I say Merry Christmas. I hope you and your family are doing great. Your loved ones, yourself. Happy Hanukkah. Because it is Hanukkah still, right? When I'm recording this, it's still Hanukkah. Duh. Idiot. And thank you. And thank the people that are there. And instead of looking at, oh, well, I didn't get my kids a lot this year, or, oh, I'm not going to see my family this year, start looking at what you did do and be grateful for that. I'm out next week. Final one, guys. Final episode in season 19. Final episode in 2025. Let's go, man. Let's go.